We do
That's how he
have time for
feels.
it.
If he's upset with me over me being good to him, over me helping him, he can be upset.
I mean, that's
I'm
fair.
not mad at him though.
Right.
He's entitled to be upset.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. Like, you don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck. Him. And everybody that's cool with him, I mean, with him.
Boxing
Chaos
world
has
has witnessed another explosive chapter in one of the sport's most dramatic fallouts. And this time the tension between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Floyd "Money" Mayweather has reached a boiling point that nobody saw coming. What makes the situation even more intense is how it all started from something that seemed completely innocent on the surface. Floyd decided to post what appeared to be just another one of his typical instructional videos, the kind where he breaks down boxing techniques and shares his legendary knowledge with fans and upcoming fighters. But here's the thing. If you've been following boxing for any amount of time, you know that nothing Floyd does is ever random or without
Davis.
purpose.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to boxing on the outside because I feel like the fight game is a little crazy right now. And the reason why the fight game is crazy, everybody doing it for the wrong reason. A lot of fighters are looking at Money Mayweather where I was older and I feel like I put in so much hard work as a youngster, you know, from 19 all the way to 29 for 10 straight years. So right now we'll box on the outside, touch him with the jab. Touch him with the jab.
But here's where things get really interesting, and you have to ask yourself the bigger question here. Why would Floyd choose this exact moment to take these kinds of shots at Tank Davis? The timing of all this wasn't coincidental at all. And if you look at what's been happening with Tank over the past several months, it starts to make a whole lot more sense. Floyd picked the absolute worst possible time in Tank's career to come out with this criticism.
Vulnerable.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. The dude took a knee. Not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same when I fought Andre. That was burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
What made everything even worse was one specific moment during that fight that had everyone talking for days afterward. Tank actually took a knee during the bout, and while the referee didn't officially rule it as a knockdown, let's be real here, everyone watching knew exactly what that was. If the ref had called it what it truly appeared to be, if that knee touching the canvas had been scored as an actual knockdown, Tank would have straight up lost that fight right there. There's no debate about it. That single moment could have completely changed the outcome and turned what ended up being a draw into an outright loss on his record.
Preparation.
The second major thing that Floyd absolutely went after Tank for was even more controversial and had the boxing purists shaking their heads in disbelief. This one really got under Floyd's skin because it went against everything he supposedly taught Tank about building a legitimate legacy in the sport. Tank Davis, who's still relatively young and absolutely in the prime years of his boxing career, who's still widely considered one of the most dangerous and explosive fighters competing at the highest level
Floyd
today.
knew it.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done, period.
When you say done, you mean like not fighting anymore? Or
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag, of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something sort of, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing, he's not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson at all. At all. I don't care how much money.
Floyd came out and made his position crystal clear in a way that left absolutely no room for misinterpretation or confusion. He stated directly that fighters like Tank Davis are actively ruining and destroying the sport of boxing by prioritizing entertainment value and viral moments over building a legitimate, lasting legacy. Floyd's argument was that boxing has always been about proving yourself against the absolute best competition available.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
And here's what makes the whole situation even more frustrating for boxing fans and for Floyd himself when he looks at what Tank is doing with his career right now. Tank Davis is currently in the absolute prime of his boxing life. These are supposed to be the years where a fighter is at their physical peak.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
The moment that Floyd's video hit the internet and started making its rounds across social media platforms, Tank Davis saw it almost immediately. You have to understand how these things work in today's world where everyone is constantly connected and checking their phones. Tank's friends were probably sending him links within minutes.
Didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
But Tank didn't stop there with just calling Floyd a hater and accusing him of jealousy. He actually took the confrontation to an entirely different level that had people genuinely concerned about what might happen if these two ever crossed paths in real life. Tank made it very clear, using language that left no room for misinterpretation, that if he ever saw Floyd in person somewhere, it would be on sight.
What set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love and hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him, and I'm doing it at a young age. Like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of
deal. He don't know about that yet, but that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing it.
Exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal.
Yeah.
Tank, don't cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
To truly understand just how deep this hatred and resentment runs between Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather, and to comprehend why their conflict has become so bitter and personal that it's turned into one of the most explosive feuds in modern boxing, you can't just look at what's happening right now in the present day.
Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Tank Davis November 15th in Atlanta, Georgia. Tank is no longer, should be, and even in the conversation of a pound for pound, best in the world, none of that. Not because of his skills, but because of this choice. He's done, right? He's done at a high level. For Jake, yeah, it's a little confusing what he says he wants to do as a boxer, right? Because, you know, in a sense, fighting a world champion could get you ready for a world championship fight, but when the size difference is this big, I think it does take away a little bit to become an actual world champion. If you say that, and you accept this for an exhibition as an agreement of both fighters to step away from competition and fight each other in an unsanctioned bout, then have to kind of accept it. I think they should be fighting other people, but they're not. And I'm still going to watch this. I'm still going to be locked in.
Floyd Mayweather did absolutely everything in his power to build Tank Davis into a household name and turn him into one of the most recognizable fighters in all of boxing. Floyd used his massive platform and his legendary reputation to shine a spotlight on Tank that most young fighters would kill to have. He hyped Tank up constantly in interviews, telling anyone who would listen that this kid from Baltimore was going to be the next big thing in boxing, and that people needed to pay attention before they missed out on witnessing the rise of a future superstar.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? He deserves to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
After leaving Mayweather Promotions and finally getting some distance from that entire situation, Tank Davis didn't just quietly move on and refuse to discuss what happened like some fighters might have done to keep things professional. No. Tank opened up publicly and used extremely strong language to describe what his experience working under Floyd Mayweather had actually been like during those years when everyone on the outside thought everything was perfect.
Exploded. Has the time come, gotta ask you this, has the time come for Tank Davis to take control of his own career and leave Mayweather Promotions?
It don't necessarily have to be leave Mayweather Promotions. It's about just becoming that man, handle your own, responsibility, your own priority. So I feel as though it's my career, so I feel as though I need to be the one to control my career. You know what I mean? So, and it's time. You know what I mean? Everybody don't need to, have them training wheels on them forever. You know what I mean? It's time to, ride their own bike without training.
Things escalated to an entirely new level of pettiness and hostility during the build-up to Tank Davis's fight against Frank Martin. And what Floyd Mayweather did during this period showed just how deep his desire to see Tank fail had become. This wasn't just about making sarcastic comments on social media anymore or throwing shade in interviews. Floyd took direct action that demonstrated he was willing to actively work against Tank's success in the most personal and calculated way possible.
Warfare. When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth, and I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
Let that sink in for a moment and really think about how absolutely insane and vindictive that situation actually was. The man who once proudly called Tank Davis his protégé, who stood beside him at press conferences bragging about how this kid was going to carry on his legacy and become the next face of boxing.
Tank. He the one told Frank that I was running at 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Everything you've heard so far in this entire story, all the shade that Floyd threw at Tank through those social media posts and training videos, all the accusations Tank made about the relationship being toxic and controlling, all the drama with Floyd going to Frank Martin's camp and literally sending people to spy on Tank's training sessions, all of that was just scratching the surface of how deep this conflict really goes.
I remember you talking about doing the pad work with Floyd, and he said you got the speed and the power to be a world champ. What did that do for your confidence? You can hear that from anybody, but Floyd is Floyd.
It was just motivation, you know, because at that time too, man, I ain't had that IQ that I got now. So at that point, I was just really going off natural athleticism. So for him to tell me that at that time, getting deeper in my bag, trying to understand the game.
It's not like basketball where you got to depend on people. It's not like football. Like the work that you put in reflects directly with your results. People don't even know the amount of hours that y'all put into this.
We ain't got no backup. We got a bad day, whatever. We ain't got nobody to come through for us. It's all on you.
Reaction to Ryan Garcia's revelation was absolutely instant chaos across every corner of the internet and the boxing world. Social media platforms completely exploded within minutes of those words being spoken. Twitter was flooded with people sharing clips of the live stream, tagging Floyd, tagging Tank, and try to figure out if what Ryan said was actually true or just reckless gossip.
I already knew about all that though. Once Gervonta Floyd Mayweather's daughter, and that's not even a secret. That's not even like, that's not something I'm exposing. Oh wow, that's after somebody did that to my daughter.
Right, I thought you and Jaco had the deal that you were gonna fight after the Haiti fight, and he said you were gonna lose.
Y'all not even gonna like try to respond to that, but you guys are some pussies.
Nah, that's crazy. That's a fight right there. It's facts. Back to you.
That's a fight, bro. That's a fight. For sure.
Ryan, are you coming to the fight in July in Dallas with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, he's coming.
Of course.
Okay. You're out here.
Gervonta Davis is gay.
Allegedly.
No, but that's okay if all right, say Gervonta, right? Because I've heard stories of Gervonta. Some girl told me that she put her fingers in his. That's fine. Hey, wait.
When word finally reached Floyd Mayweather about what was happening between Tank and his daughter, and especially after Tank publicly confirmed the situation and tried to justify it by saying Yaya was the one who initiated contact, whatever small possibility might have existed for these two men to eventually reconcile and move past their differences completely evaporated in an instant. The relationship between Floyd and Tank never recovered from that point forward.
Do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? After so much time, he helped you come into the game. He gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it. It was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter, or the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to Floyd, and Floyd bugged out.
Okay.
So that's what made it like.
Tank fans won't like hearing this part, and they'll probably want to argue against it or make excuses or point to his record and his knockout highlights as proof that everything is fine. But the truth is the truth, and sometimes the truth is uncomfortable and hard to accept.
Talk about. We got real quick. Actually, I just wanted to say I saw Gervonta Davis was in here for a minute. I don't know if he's still in here. I know he has his big Tank on here. Yeah, Tank. Tank. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know. He might have bounced. I don't know. He might have bounced. He was only on for a second. Tank, you want to come in, Tank? Can I bring you in? I would love to bring you in. Only because I know for like the longest Tank has had an issue with fight hype, with me. I like, bro. Pull him in. Pull him in. Hold on. I don't know. How do I do it? You got to do it. I think I got to do it.
And Floyd Mayweather, the man who originally built Tank Davis from a raw, talented prospect into a pay-per-view attraction and household name in boxing, is sitting back and watching this entire decline happen in real time right before his eyes. You have to imagine there's some part of Floyd that feels vindicated seeing Tank struggle and fall apart after leaving his guidance and support, especially given all the personal drama and betrayal that happened between them. Floyd can point to Tank's recent performances and behavior and essentially say, see, I told you so. This is what happens when you think you don't need proper guidance and structure and discipline in your career.
He's slipping. Tank Davis is not the face of boxing because he doesn't fight often. He fights once a year. And he's probably one of the best talents in the world. I love Tank Davis. I love watching him fight. I love when he goes in the ring and just demonstrates power and speed and he doesn't give a shit. I love that. But he has to fight more often. We want to see Tank fight 3-4 times a year. Tank Davis, I dare you to break my record. 5 world title fights in 1 year. Let's go. You think he's lost?
This feud between Floyd Mayweather and Tank Davis has gotten so incredibly wild and intense and personal over these past few years that people in the boxing community are now actually talking seriously about something that once seemed completely impossible and ridiculous to even consider. Fans, promoters, media members, and even other fighters are openly discussing the possibility of an actual Floyd versus Tank mega fight happening inside a boxing ring, where these two former mentor and protege can finally settle all their issues and animosity in the most direct way
with
possible.
his career.
Tank Davis, somebody you've had some interaction with on social. What do you make of maybe the lack of discipline or arrest?
Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline. Is that what you want to put it down to?
Yeah.
It's more than lack of discipline. Yeah. It's vile. Do you know what I mean? I don't condone that at all in the slightest. So it's not got nothing to do with lack of discipline. It's got everything to do with moral compass. And for me, that's just, yeah, it ain't right.
So that brings us to the end of everything we wanted to cover about this absolutely insane and dramatic situation between Floyd Mayweather and Tank Davis that has completely taken over the boxing world and shows no signs of calming down anytime soon.
What's your dream fight card?
Dream fight card?
Anybody.
So there's a couple fights on there. Me versus Floyd.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.